CHC.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order, 5 o'clock.
And if you have a report by June, whatever.
Yeah.
Determine there's a quorum, which there is. Everybody's here except for Greg, right? Public forum, do we have anybody here for public comment?
Wait, we need to vote on the meeting to the order.
Can I get a motion
You
for?
need a motion to call the meeting to order or to approve the agenda?
Approve the
What?
agenda.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay. No one has signed up to talk.
Okay. Okay, now, need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Next on the agenda is
Superintendent report.
Superintendent report.
We've got Kylie and Sarah Fink are here just to give us a little bit of an update on our AI, what we're doing now, and how we're gonna move forward in the future.
So Sarah and I wanted to get kind of a baseline report of where we are with our teachers with our AI usage. So back in the spring, we received a computer science grant to help pay for some professional development for our teachers on AI. And so we took some baseline data on that. So we're gonna kind of share where we're at and our strengths currently and where we're gonna be going with what we found out. If you go to the second slide there, this is what we're kind of starting out with. We did a pilot in the fall of 2025, and so the admin either had ChatGPT Pro or Gemini Pro to kind of weigh out the options of what we thought about those types of AI tools and how we were using them at the admin level. From there, the high school English department met and they made an AI usage rubric, and we have that linked on there too. That AI usage rubric we have up in classrooms, so it'll say from like 0 to 4, you can use AI today, no AI use, and where they're at. So that way students know as soon as they come in the classroom what kind of AI use is appropriate with the lesson that's moving forward. So they use different resources to come up with this. They worked with the high school and the middle school to kind of figure out how people were using AI and how this could fit overall into all of the classrooms. And so the English department came up with this to share and shared it at one of our PDs. And so from there, some of the other things that we've done with the AI policy. With that grant, we had CodeJoy, a professional company, do a workshop with our teachers. Some of them were done after hours, so they received a stipend after hours to join, learn about AI, see how it could be used in computer science and then without. And then we also used some of our time in the April PD to go through what goes on behind AI. So it might not be applicable for the classroom, but what is AI? What's going on behind the scenes? How does AI learn? How do they train the model? Just some basic knowledge information about AI itself. And then we've had a lot of TQM this summer focused on AI. So we've led a couple where teachers have came in, they've learned a new tool, whether it's Canva or Gemini or Google Classroom, and then they actually put it into application. So in the past, we've done some TQM where it was more of a sit and get, here are all the wonderful tools, people might be overwhelmed, and then they go back and they only use one. So we extended our TQM times a little bit so that they could learn and then actually make the resources, develop the lesson plans, do those types of things. And then Sarah and I were available to answer questions. It was very powerful to see lots of the teachers working together. Hey, I like it better with this tool than this tool, so they could kind of collaborate on that. The admin team went to an SAI workshop in Des Moines this summer, and it talked about how do you use AI efficiently and for impact, and that was led by a national speaker. And so he did a really good job of breaking it down, making it easier for the admin We did a lot of AI where we just talked into our device. We used it to critique some of the things that we were doing. And then just like everyday uses, like how to clean up your email, that kind of stuff. So the applicable things that could be used right away. Sarah and I were both selected to go to Google. I went to Google in June and worked with admin across the United States to see how other schools are using AI, where they're at, how they're implementing it, the barriers that they're seeing. There were districts there that were smaller than us, and then they had people that were, in Chicago and New York. So it was very cool to network with them, see what they're doing. Took a lot of ideas back for our TQM sessions that we're gonna do in the fall, and then just kind of what kind of information they have for data, their task force, and then all of that kind of stuff. And then moving forward in the fall, we're gonna have a AI task force. So there's gonna be teachers in all of our buildings, and then an admin. There's 10 of us total that are gonna be working to help find the PD, see what each building's needing so that we can kind of move forward with the baseline data that we have.
AI will look very different at the elementary than it'll look like at the middle and high school, so we want to make sure we kind of catch all ends there. So the next slide just talks a little bit about, so before we did our AI PD with Code Joy this last spring, we just sent out kind of a pre-survey just to kind of get a pulse and a heartbeat on where our staff was with AI, how much they use AI, and then their thoughts of blending it into their education roles. And so this is just kind of some of the opportunities and strengths that came out of that survey. So overwhelmingly, we did notice that, a lot of our staff are already using AI tools that are out there, more so like the chatbots. So ChatGPT or Gemini are the ones that they're probably interacting with the most. Benefits that they are seeing for themselves is obviously that teacher efficiency, right? Like we've got more and more on our plates. What are some of the things that AI might be able to help me with to be a little bit more efficient either in my classroom, dealing with students, communicating with parents, so on and so forth. So a little bit of that efficiency and workload reduction. Diverse learners always comes out too. There are some great use cases out there of how AI can be used to help diversify instruction within the classroom quickly and easily and efficiently. And so not only for our struggling learners, but also for maybe advancing our higher students as well too. Just giving the educators some ideas about how you could change or transform the lesson a little bit, or maybe do some reteaching for others that are struggling. So AI is also great support for meeting all learning needs within our classrooms. And then we were positive with, I guess, that forward-looking mindset. So we know, and our teachers obviously know too, and have said too, that they recognize that AI is a thing. Kids are going to need to know about, learn about how to use it effectively and appropriately as we prepare them for their workforce. So they have that awareness that's out there and important for our students, and are looking for ways to kind of integrate that within their classrooms as well. So that was kind of the overall opportunities and strengths, and Kylie will kind of talk about the risks and gaps that we noticed from the survey.
So when we questioned teachers, it was 0 to 10. 0 is I don't really know. 10 would be like I'm a pro, I could teach this. And some of our gaps that we came, 65% of our educators ranked our clarity on our AI guidelines as low. And so these are actual items that we can take care of. Our task force will kind of help with that. And then overall, there was a feeling that 43% felt uncomfortable with collaborating with students using AI, or being able to tell if something was AI generated work. So all of those things are obviously a point where, whether they're in elementary school, high school, college, those are conversations that are continuously being had about how are we using AI and how comfortable are we with it. And then just the critical thinking about it, so not depending too much on AI, how are we using it to solve problems but not taking away from creativity and that kind of thing.
So AI, right, is the thing that we've had some really good results on, but we also know that there are some other outliers out there too that might kind of rein us in on what we might be able to go forward with in regards to AI and instruction. And these two items just legislatively have come about in the last 2 legislative sessions. Just this past spring, it was passed for our student screen time in the MAHA bill, which is then going to limit our K-5 population to only being able to use technology for 60 minutes of their school day. So there's a little bit of a backward shift sometimes, I guess, when it comes to how much we want our students to be on technology. And of course, being able to learn about AI and how to use AI is obviously going to require some kind of a device in some capacity. So it's a matter of trying to figure out how that's going to fit into what it is that we know instruction needs to take place within the district. And then the last one, or the second one noted there, is just from last year, so that was spring of 2025 legislation. So that's the personal electronic devices, so cell phones in classroom, basically, is what that bill was about. And so we know that they are a major distraction for some in the classroom, and so all of our classrooms, I believe, at the high school have some kind of a pouch system that they put their devices in once they go into every classroom in order to do that. So, you know, looking at those 2 items is like, okay, we're trying to take the technology out of the students' hands. Like, how do we make this work a little bit better in trying to educate them on AI and moving forward within that realm? And then that last is just the overall AI staff survey. So you can see the actual question by question that we asked our staff and kind of see just a quick lens of which educators, which was everybody, so it was on a PD day that they answered the survey ahead of the CodeJoy training. And then just some general questions about AI and AI usage, and then it gets into a little bit more detail about AI in the classroom, using it with students, so on and so forth. So we just linked the detailed results of the survey there as well, if you're interested in those things.
I can send out the entire
Okay.
presentation.
Moving forward, like I mentioned, we're going to have a leadership team. This task force includes an administrator, myself, and Sarah, and then there will be 7 others at each of the levels. So our main focus is on best practice, collaboration in the buildings to find the tools that are going to be best. We're also going to be looking at like piloting and vetting tools just to make sure that we're not releasing any student data or anything of the sort, and then just make sure that our school and our students are prepared. One of the focuses when I was at our Google training, very similar to our Portrait of a Graduate, Google has released an AI Portrait of a Graduate, essentially. And so it talked about, you know, what are students going to be doing in the future, how are they using it in their community, how they're using it in school. So it's a really great model that we can use moving forward. So taking our baseline data at this time next year, we hope to see that our staff competences went up, our work efficiency has went up, and then as our students graduate or they go into, you know, their college classes or the workforce, they see that they're more prepared and ready for those changes that are coming with AI.
And I think what we did decide too as an admin group is we will be going with Gemini, which the AI stays within our own system. So I can't even share anything that I might do on Notebook LM, which is one of the tools. I can't share that with anyone outside of the Harlan Community Schools. So everything stays within our system and it's not going out.
The data training.
The data
Yeah,
training
so our-
stays within us.
our domain.
So you won't be using Copilot, Gemini is what you guys decided. That was, I'm glad you said that, because that was my question. Did you guys decide? which
Copilot
one?
is the Microsoft, basically,
Yeah.
version of Gemini.
We decided
So
on-
it's for Google and Google based, it just, it
Gemini,
lends
yeah.
itself well to that, and for the data privacy and protections that we get. We would not, our data is not being trained on
Anywhere else except for within, yeah.
We do have the Pro version of Google too, and with that, there's definitely advantages of using Gemini because some of those tools are built straight into Google Classroom and the apps. So like they mentioned, nothing that we do in Gemini can be shared outside of our district, so it's not training the model. Whereas if you were on a unregistered ChatGPT, that's training the model for anyone everywhere. So. Yes.
Question, So obviously, these are the same conversations happening at Iowa Western Community College. We too have a task force. We too are trying to figure out what faculty, how they can use it, how they can teach it, all the same things kind of you guys are talking about. I'm wondering, I'm going back to like the rubric, telling the students what you can access for which class or which whatever. Is it ever said to them, hey guys, when you're doing an Iowa Western class, like in the syllabus, an instructor might put how you can use AI for that college class, which wouldn't follow what the school's doing, and so they need to have an awareness that they could very well be following some different rules when they're Iowa Western class, and for the classes you guys teach at the high school, obviously those instructors need to work with their counterpart at Iowa Western, because that too can be different than what you're doing here. So I don't know if that's worth mentioning anywhere. It's probably mostly juniors and seniors, but just a thought like, well, it says we can do this. Well, now you're in your Iowa Western class, and here's might be a different set of rules, and so I just wanted to throw that out
Great
there.
awareness,
So
Yeah, and this was just piloted by the English teachers, so, I mean, they've got a long ways to go to share it with everybody, but I think that's what the lead team was looking at it at the high school, just at the high school at this point. And each teacher can decide if they want to use it or not use it, so I think back to your point, that it's not just going to be every teacher uses this. They can decide if they don't want AI at all, then they don't want AI at all.
And maybe I should have the high school outreach, put a slide in at orientation, maybe pointing that out, for, not everybody, of course, shows up at orientation, but at least it's been said to
Or even in the college labs.
larger group, and so, but, just something to think about so that nobody crosses a line they shouldn't be,
Sure.
Is there gonna be some type of, for lack of a better word, maybe training or whatever for the actual students, where you're informing them that, hey, this is Gemini, explain that it's gonna stay inside of, so you guys are gonna have a little more freedom of what you can put in there, but if you get outside of that and you're on your phone, it's not the same thing, so that they don't think that, you know what I mean, just some education about how AI is working and how it's working here. But if you get outside of that and go to Copilot or something else, now if you put something out there, it's out there, and it's, especially if it's confidential or
Maybe that'll come
private.
out through the task force too, is that, we do have this structure in place, but what does that next step level look like for students? Who's responsible for that education for those students in the classroom? Is it an outside source like
And even the
Kylie or
teachers as
myself?
well.
Or, is it on the English teachers to
Mhm.
teach them about AI and the
Yeah.
usage and all those different things? So like that could be very well
Proper
be
usage, ethics, that you
Correct.
should-
Well, and they're gonna run into some things too, because like there's a group coming out to the building to take Anatomy and Physiology 1 with Dr. Babka, and they're gonna be turning in some things, and I'll guarantee you, Dr. Babka is gonna put them through her
Yeah.
things and gonna come back and be like, oh, that's plagiarized or whatever, AI, and so, I think they're gonna run into different things as it goes, and everybody's kinda,
Are you guys using
Learning.
Turnitin at Iowa Western?
whatever I sent you that time, that Steve
so they
McGann.
adopted that at the
and
high
so-
school too, so that'll help
Yeah.
streamline that process as they transition.
I actually think opposite. I think you guys said you were doing that, and I think Steve McGann pointed out some things he didn't particularly like about that one, and I couldn't tell you what they are using, but even the instructors beyond that even have some different things they use, and so it's just going to continue to be a big learning process, I think.
For all of
Yeah,
the
of course.
checkers,
Yep.
right? And I've seen tests too of lead ed tech people in the United States that I physically wrote this entire paper by myself, and I turned it into a plagiarism checker, and it said it was 85% plagiarized. And he goes, this is very much my own words. So those systems aren't fail-safe either, so it's just you try to find the best one.
Especially if you check across systems.
Yes.
They get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And
It's like
so-
we get an 85% plagiarized here, but this other one might say it's only 5% plagiarized.
And so then, and when that happens, then we're teaching the Iowa Western student how to take that up to say, no, I didn't. And so,
We had a $700 charge for ChatGPT this month. Is that part of the
That's gonna
pilot?
be
It'll go away?
That's gonna be reversed. it was the pilot and it automatically renewed and we're taking it off.
Okay.
So we noticed the exact same thing. We were like, what the heck? So Casey was like, sorry, it was just automatically
Fine,
renewed.
yeah.
So we're gonna decline or get rid of that,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, So great that we've got a team that's going to start working on this. My concern right now is managing the gap. Is there a lot of the things that you guys are going to try to solve as a team that are questions for the teachers and the students right now? What the policies are, what are they allowed to do, what tools can they use? What are we going to do to close that gap until the team has their answers
Yeah.
put in place?
Just from being a part of other like tech director meetings, either in Southwest Iowa or across the state, there are a lot of districts further behind than we are. So, I mean, I know we think we're behind on some things, but yet we're way further ahead on some other things than other districts are. We are allowing the usage of AI of, our high school students, and we have some districts that have absolutely everything turned off access-wise for students. So, I think, I would hate to say, I mean, we'd like to move at the speed the world moves at, but I think it's being very conscientious and planful and mindful about going ahead without trying to get too far behind anything too.
For what it's worth, my encouragement to you guys would be define early what the purpose of the tool is and what the expectations are for what students should leave as far as knowledge and ability to use the tool. Right now it feels very much like we're trying to put the tool in a box and control it while we figure it out.
Yeah.
If we can answer that question, the box becomes less important.
So
Because we have-
that was exactly what we learned when we went to SAI, was just, it's not about the tool, it's about what information you want to put into the tool and how you want to use that information and how you how you want to massage the information to get what you need. And this other part that he used Play-Doh as an example, like there's three different steps, and that third part is Play-Doh comes out of a Play-Doh thing as a little tube, but by the time you're done with it, it doesn't come out with that at all, and it should be completely different. He did it, that picture up there was our presenter, and he looks like he's 25, which he probably was. But he did an excellent job, and that was one of the main things I think that I got out of it. And we took our whole entire team, and everybody learned a lot. Jeff even called Gemini Geronimo at one point because he couldn't remember. So, but it was an all-day thing, and you had to bring something to the table to keep growing and keep learning. So, and Gemini was a big focus of it. So I think I totally hear your point, that it's not about which tool are you going to use, it's about how are you going to get the information in and out of it.
Well, not even about the tool at all or using it, it's what do we expect students to be able to do with it as a part of graduation.
Absolutely.
And the world they're moving into, and that should completely redefine the rubrics and everything else we use, rather than trying to keep it in a box. Let's figure out what we're supposed to do, and then the box isn't necessary anymore.
Yeah.
One of the districts I worked with when I was at the Google Academy, they actually had like their students, similar to like our student help desk kids, they actually made AIPD for the teachers, like the students themselves. So they said one of the biggest takeaways that they had from it was that the students were showing the teachers that you might not be an AI expert, but the kids already know how to use it. So like eliminating that piece of like, I'm not teaching you necessarily, like you're pointing out how to use it, but how are we looking at the data to make sure it's accurate, it's not hallucinating. What are some tools that even the students in that group could share with other students or other teachers too, and it has drastically helped what they've been doing in their district.
Well, even defining how you're going to use it as a teachers, as the administration, put your, we're going through that same thing in my business. Trying to figure out how we can use AI to benefit us, making things easier. How do you use it as a teacher to enhance your ability to teach the kids? So.
The last comment I'll make, shadow AI is one of the things all businesses are fighting everywhere. I assume you will too.
Okay.
Meaning, great, the school has Gemini, but I prefer to use Claude when I do these things, so I'm gonna take my stuff home and run it through Claude or whatever. Right. What are the expectations and requirements for the staff and how we manage that and make sure that we don't have an undesired leakage of
Sure. Yeah.
data and things out,
Yeah.
student IP.
I have heard that in the medical field, AI is a big cause of depression and suicide in teens. So, and they are starting to watch that because they can make AI friends and they can make, so we don't need to not do it, but how are we teaching kids to use it appropriately and to safeguard against those things? Because they'll use it, they'll figure it out way before I do. But I mean, we do need to safeguard.
And I think that's another thing that comes up in that committee right away, and they're gonna meet before school even starts, so then we can just get a jump on it to,
And most educational tools now have already converted to some sort of AI piece that's in there, whether I interact with it directly or it's happening behind the scenes. So all of those pieces are getting added in. And some of the conferences I've been to are like, well, I'm not really using AI. It's like, well, you are using Magic School and you are using all of these things. So you are interacting with it, whether you kind of know who you are or not.
Right.
So that's a really good
And
point.
teachers have the wisdom that the kids don't,
So, yeah.
so they need to be aware.
And that might be a piece we can add in with our Zello from the like counselor's point
from the
too.
counselors. Yep, that's,
Thank you.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Encouraged that we're
And good luck.
moving, that we're doing all this, because it's important.
Yeah, it's not, it's not going away.
No,
So
it's
we
not
have to-
going away.
And it's moving really fast.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, see ya.
Do you have anything else under the
I
superintendent
don't
report?
have anything else. I just,
Student accolades?
I can share those. We have a lot of, we just put them under district just because we don't, it's summer. So, those are a lot of middle school pictures there. And I know the middle one is one of Kylie's STEM camps, or Kylie and Sarah, I shouldn't say just Kylie, but they made their own screen printing shirts to wear to the Imaginarium. Is that right? Or
Science Center.
Or the Science Center. Okay, they went to both, didn't they? Or did they go to the Imaginarium one? Maybe that was a different group. They've been going lots of places. Middle school over there, that was a family consumer science. They were making breakfast. We've got a STEM camp guy on the left. All of the pajama pants that are made, that's a quarter in the middle school. The kids love to do that. There's Kylie again, so they're making their screen printing shirts. There's Claire too. Bill with a couple middle schoolers. And then here's Ragbri, so there's the group right there that we.
What am I doing?
We served over 11,000 or over 1,000 meals yesterday, from 4 to 6, 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
4 to 6 was a lot,
It was-
and then like 600.
Thanks
through.
to Jennifer for
And then-
helping.
Yes, yes. So we had lots of help, and these two started cooking, and Ashley's mom has worked at Valentino's before, so that was very helpful when it came to the noodles. So she worked until 2, so it was awesome. Got a baseball picture there. The baseball and the softball girls, boys and girls, both had great seasons this year. Both had winning seasons, so that was fun. Down left is a picture of the cafeteria at one point during Ragbri. I mean, it was just totally packed. Student section at the baseball games, which is awesome. It's always nice to see them out in the summer because sometimes you don't get to see that many students there because school's out. And then we, as a teammates group here in Harlan, which is the mentoring group, won the State of Iowa Award for the best
Wonderful.
chapter. So Courtney
Nice.
King Crum does a great job of matching mentors. So if anyone's interested in being a mentor, if there's anyone else out there or your place of employment wants to allow your groups to come in 1 hour a week, that's awesome, or even a half an hour a week. It's a great thing. So there we go. All right.
Great, thanks for all your guys' efforts for Ragbri. That was
Yeah, it was
amazing.
It was a long day, but very fruitful. They were very generous. So
Oh, that's nice.
lots of good tips, and
Good.
we opened up the gym a lot earlier than we had planned to. So we were going to open it up at 4, and Kylie was just going to show a movie, and we opened it up at noon because it was so hot. So we we just got lots of compliments. And then they had charging stations, and they just stayed inside. It was so hot, so.
It was hot.
And we had showers, and that went well. So we didn't really have a lot of overhead. I mean, Catherine had her food, but a lot of it was pure profit.
Was it our bus drivers driving around?
Our bus drivers helped, yeah. Jared had hooked up 2 or 3 of our bus drivers. Jeff Musich asked, yeah. And then I know 2 of our drivers went, because it was so hot, they picked up riders in like Erling and other places to bring them back because it was so hot.
Yeah.
So the district will get reimbursed for that. I talked to Neil Gross, and he said he'll give us paperwork and they'll pay us back for that. Yeah, lots of good things, lots of compliments on the schools. We had lots of guests here too. Somebody in the park, somebody in the gym, and the high school, they were like, oh, this is so beautiful. And I was like, oh, you just got it renovated. So, yeah. It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, going on to our action items, personnel report.
Not a lot this month. We told you, I believe, last month, or maybe it was on Jenny's Friday email about Bailey. She's going to take a school-based interventionist job with the AEA. So she'll still be working in the district. She's just moving. She resigned. That's Ashley Clint, para in elementary, also resigned. But we hired a new head custodian, a wrestling coach, a new para, and then a cook. I have one more cook interview tomorrow, and then Jennifer McDowell. So Bailey's leaving. Kind of caused a little domino effect. So Lynn Kimmin is moving into her position. She's the admin assistant on the primary side. So Jen McDowell is taking her position, and so we'll probably have another internal move for that one, but we still have some time, so that's where it should be fine. And then those are our openings still. So I don't know. Honestly, if we have para openings right now, Casey's running her numbers. They're running their numbers just to make sure, because sometimes there's movement during the end of the year into the summer. So, but we do foresee someone, like I said, taking that internal position that Jen McDowell is vacating. So,
All right.
pretty short and sweet this
Yep.
time.
Good. Okay, next we have the approval of the transportation. What's that? Yep. Approval of the transportation sharing agreement with.
Approval of the personnel.
Oh, the report. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Move to
Yeah, I need a
approve
motion on the personnel report.
Right.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Carried. Now we'll go to the
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
sharing agreement.
I had one question on
Yeah.
this. In the first paragraph, it says that this is for the 25-26 fiscal
Oops,
year.
that's wrong. Thank you, Pete. Good catch.
Can we just approve it
Can
with
we
the?
approve it with the amendment that we change the date? Or do you want us to bring it back?
Yeah, I don't know why we.
But in this case, that's probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can, yeah, we got it from
Already
there.
signed.
I was gonna say, we got it
Got it
from
from
there,
them.
from them, so we'll just, that's okay.
Yeah, we'll just.
Well,
Well, we can approve
we
it.
can approve it and
Approve
send it
saying
back, and
that-
then they can.
Yeah, and then they can re-sign it. I'd make a
It
new
was
one
right at
and
the-
sign it and change the date.
Yeah.
Right down at the bottom.
The payment dates are right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just missed that one. Okay. Okay,
So I'm gonna get someone to make a motion to approve with the change of the correct fiscal year.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, approval of the fuel bids.
So Jared always goes to the 2 local, and then just gets their quotes, and then he's approving at this time the cheaper bid, which is FSC.
And I think the difference was about $4,000 or $5,000. Is that correct?
About 6.
6.
Yep.
6.
if you extend it all out between the dollar price and the
Yeah.
estimated gallons.
Yeah.
It's 144,354 for Agriland and $138,621.50 for FSC.
So if I can get a motion to,
Just a couple comments.
oh yeah, go ahead.
One, it might be good to bid these line items separately in the future, rather than as a package. Two, I think there's at least one, if not a couple other local in the county area suppliers that we might want to talk to that have beat these prices in my experience in the past.
Who would those be?
We can talk about
Okay.
it. And three, I think the question is, are we buying the annual projected use? Is that what this is?
It's whenever we use it. That's just the estimated that they gave us. Or we gave them an estimated amount of 15,000, so we get the same price from each
So
vendor.
this is an annual fixed bid, but
Yeah.
then we'll take as we need.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what our history is in beating the market on buying early like this. Seems like fuel prices are fairly unstable right now.
We can ask Sharon that.
Roger, I don't know
Yeah,
what your
if the market-
experience is
if
with
the-
farmers and being able to beat the market on these types of purchases.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, a lot of them want you to do the, well, they want you to commit the gallons, you know,
Right.
but then a lot of times they'll give you a better price than market price in order to do that. You know, otherwise you're subject to whatever, if you don't do a contract, you're subject to whatever the market
Market
is.
is.
So,
Okay.
which could go up and down, it might be in your favor, I don't know. Any other discussion on that item? No, can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I'll see.
Oh, policy review. I had to get up and move a few times to read these.
Listen,
There's a lot.
I only gave you half,
I was getting
so
Yeah.
sleepy.
there are a
There's
lot
some
more for
more
next
next
month.
time?
First
Yeah.
reading. Does anybody, I had a couple
Okay,
things
so-
that they got answered for
Do
me.
you want,
Yeah.
you got your
Anybody's
questions?
got any questions?
Which one, Pete?
50301,
Okay, 50301, student conduct, yep.
student conduct, fourth paragraph, third line, there's a typo there. Removal of needs a space.
Saw that too.
Oh, right there.
Right at the end.
Yep, right here. See this?
Yeah.
On the green.
Bluish.
Space.
Your space and
Needs a
removal.
Removal of,
between-
yeah,
Mhm.
yep.
Right after the title one.
Okay, another one, Pete?
50311,
Okay.
be the fourth paragraph. It looks like, I don't know if those are template brackets or what that line is.
Fourth paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or
This.
311 R1, sorry.
Oh, sorry. 50311 R1.
Oh, right there.
The yellow highlighted.
So we need to
Yep.
remove that.
Mhm.
These are brand new policies based on new legislation, so I did answer a few questions with some of you previously, but we will see how this rolls out, because I feel like next year there will be additional changes to this, but we'll see, yep.
Okay. Sorry, two more.
No, that, you're fine. What else?
60701.
Okay. 607. This one, okay.
At the end, that seems like something's missing. Sport curricular goals of the school. Is that, you used to say employees, but
I think
maybe that is right.
it was
just hard to
under
read.
licensed employees and they added that whole green part.
Okay.
The,
Licensed school counselors working to develop.
Hold on.
So
I can look it
the
up.
premise behind this is to remove anything that says socially emotional learning, and then to make sure that they're adding in conversations with parents and as much as possible.
That one I may have been cross-eyed and tired when I was.
Okay, so this one's okay. Okay, what's the next one?
Then the last question I had was, I think 70403 is in both first and second reading,
Is it the finance one?
investments.
That's why I thought I read one.
You did, you're right,
I
Pete.
think, I was like, I
We
thought I read
looked
this
for
one.
it and we couldn't find it, so we were like, oh my gosh, I gotta put it back in there, because
We couldn't find it in the first reading.
Oh, it's in
Because
there.
we double-
It's there.
I think
The
I
last
kept,
one.
kept
Well, we will
clicking
approve it
on
in the second
everything. I'm like,
reading,
oh,
we'll
I
take it
must
out
have
in the-
clicked that wrong.
Yeah.
So it was in the
Yeah.
first reading the last time. I think I just closed
So-
out on everything.
I thought we looked.
Going back to 60701, it is just school. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I think
First reading. It could be first and second.
So we're gonna move 70403 to first reading now, or?
It's not in the first
It-
reading at our June 15th meeting.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
So
that's why I got
Stay in
put
the
into the
first
first.
reading.
Should stay
Stay
in
in the
the
first
first
reading.
So
Okay.
we need to take it out of the second reading.
You take it out of the second.
Okay.
There's a lot in there. I tried to sort through it. I thought Ashley would explain the whole thing to us. So.
Yep, that's the after, that's the after.
Gonna have professional development on that later.
Yeah. It's, I mean, it's all.
It just expanded the
Yeah.
old policy,
Yeah.
kind of just made it a little bit more specific and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And this is also the recommendation from ISBIS that they gave us too, so.
There was conversations during the legislative session about schools investing money and where you could and couldn't invest money. So I'm sure that's why they're tightening this up just a little bit.
Yep.
It is to our advantage. I mean, we want to go local and we've asked banks to go local, but sometimes it's to our advantage to go somewhere else. And if the local banks can match, then we definitely go to the local banks for sure. But I don't know how that works in the rest of the state. So that's where laws seem to fly out of, I think, other places.
Any more questions on the first reading? Otherwise, I can entertain a motion to approve.
Can I ask one more question?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Roger.
Yeah.
50301.
Brand new
Is that one
bill,
or not?
or brand new bill and brand new policy.
Yeah. It cites in that fourth paragraph, policy 50111, but I think that's a different number.
For us?
If I'm not mistaken, that's 50311 now?
Okay, so, are you looking?
Disruptive behavior.
111. What's it called?
Disruptive
Disruptive
behavior.
behavior. I feel like that was in one of the readings,
It was,
which is why
it
I'm
was in the
asking.
first reading.
I wouldn't have known that otherwise.
This
This one right here, Cat 50111.
We're in 503.
But we're in, yeah,
So it's
503.
503.
So this is, it's basically
So we'll have to change that for next time, bring it back in.
We need to confirm it and make sure that's right.
removal of students from the classroom.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
311.
Well, yeah, just need to make sure that it aligns, the number aligns. Okay. And then bring,
Will it have to come back as first reading again next month?
anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we'll check on that. Okay.
So the first reading, we have to take
Remove
out
this
the 50301
Mm-hmm.
for approval, and it'll go into next month for first reading.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or discussion? Entertain a motion to approve the first reading,
Can I
excluding
just-
50301.
Does that have to be approved by in our July board meeting?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'd say as long as before school starts.
I think
Yeah,
we just have
yeah,
to
I
implement
think
it.
you're
I
right.
move that we approve it with those changes.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we go on to our second reading. Maybe.
I know.
Yeah, that's what mine did. Mine locked up and I couldn't get back into my stuff. I was thinking I was having an internet
Mine is
connection.
kinda too.
I was
So,
having an
maybe
internet
it's 'cause we're
connection
online.
issue.
on the second reading, for sure, we're gonna have to remove that investment one.
Yeah.
When we, okay. Any other questions anyone had? We didn't have any last time, so.
No. There was one that I asked about the treasurer, which was
Oh,
that?
yes.
I had
Um,
emailed.
So that was last time, we'll just have to, Ashley will need to do her oath to the board as the treasurer in August, and we'll put that on the agenda. Otherwise, it would be done normally at our annual meeting when we do the vice president, the president, the secretary, and the treasurer. But since she's new,
Yep.
that one, this was 20604.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are me.
Move to approve second reading excluding policies 70304.
70403.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. On to the minutes.
Consent
Consent
agenda.
item, our consent items. Anybody have any questions? Minutes, the expenses?
I think we're gonna try to keep getting more detailed on the expenses.
Yeah.
So instead of putting supplies, we'll put supplies for FFA or travel for basketball or what, boys
Yeah.
basketball. So
The only other question I had, that I think fixes most things. We had 107,000 expense to lab aids for curriculum. Was that
science,
existing or new?
that's the new.
That's the new.
Yep, that's from the last time, yep.
Yeah,
Math is this year, so that'll be another big chunk once they choose, so.
Yeah, and I can't pull it up. I have one, because I.
Do you wanna
I
pull it
lost
up on
mine.
the, which one?
The
Board
accounts
report.
payable, yeah. This one, the board report. Dude, I had it highlighted, but I'll go through it.
Does the time limit?
Playground servicing, I'm assuming that was down here for the middle school?
Yes, and that, yes.
Playground servicing was for the middle school or
No.
elementary?
It's
The
elementary
preschool.
preschool.
Okay,
They
And
resurfaced
They
it.
resurfaced it, and that was paid for through preschool funds and
okay.
maybe a little bit of extra bond money.
Does the science curriculum, is that affected at all by the 60-minute screen time limit?
Should not be down here, because it's only 60
'Cause it's
minutes
here,
K-12,
right?
K-5,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's mostly
Yeah.
not.
And they don't really, I mean, it's not like they have their own individual devices or anything
They don't.
anyway. It does not, the 60 minutes does not include a teacher up, on their board,
This.
because they use that almost as a whiteboard all the time too, so it doesn't include that. It also doesn't include testing, like ISAS, state testing, or the fast testing, or any of the screeners, or anything like that.
Well, maybe it should.
Then
Then we
it's
can do
interesting,
less.
because, yeah, it can't include our things, but it can include.
Yes,
Yeah.
funny.
And then the shared court cost on the resource officer, is that, like, are we paying half, 75%, 25? Or is that for one resource
so
officer, or how's that?
It's for one resource officer. This is the first year that we have paid pretty much the full salary for RJ.
Okay,
This is our 4th year that we've had him. In the first two years, we had it through a grant, so we had him for free.
okay,
And that was a grant with the sheriff's department. Last year, we shared costs with IKM Manning. Not IKM Manning,
Elkhorn.
EEHK, Elkhorn,
Okay.
so he was back and forth. And next year, we will have him full-time. And we have saved money for that, and we're able to, we budgeted for that.
okay.
So basically, this is the first year we really have to pay for his full salary. Now, if we can find grant funding and other things, we will
So is he
continue to
not
look
gonna
for
do
that.
stuff for the department then?
He doesn't, no.
Because like this weekend, he was
He
working.
does in the
right?
summer. In the
Okay.
summer, he does.
And he
Uh,
picks up
so
extra
this-
shifts if they need them.
So that's not his total salary, you're right.
Okay, okay, I was just
Nope,
asking, I
that's
didn't
not
know
his
how that
total
worked.
salary. That would be probably 75%.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Or how many days he works for us, 190, 200. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have.
But he wouldn't get called out during the school day to a call.
Not unless it's an absolute emergency, but no. What happened prior was he would get called to Elkhorn quite often. So, not quite often, but you know, if they needed something. So now we have him full time. So he'll be down here, and he's gonna also do some more educational programming for us, and we've got him all scheduled out. But if you needed him at Iowa Western for something, he could definitely go over there. Or
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few times where he said,
yeah,
well, students here that come out there.
absolutely, and he can do. That's
Yeah.
he's.
I just
all
wondered if he would get called out by the sheriff's department to go do something.
Not unless it's an all hands
Right,
on
high
deck.
speed chase, you know, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't really happened. We also get him for an exorbitant amount of hours because he goes to all of our activities and all of our. So
Yeah, he's at a lot of stuff.
yeah.
The technology, Riverside Technology, is that what,
Computers.
is that for
Chromebooks.
Chromebooks? What? There was a company on here, I just couldn't remember what we did with them.
Walmart? No,
What's that?
not Walmart. I was just looking for the high dollar. Stone Lake School District movie tuition.
I'm sorry, I had to highlight it on mine, but mine's down.
Renaissance subscription.
Renaissance.
How far away can you go to a school?
K-Logic Inc. And it's like supplies, and then there was another one for another dollar amount. I was just wondering what supplies are we getting from?
From K-Log,
Yeah.
I could pull it up just to look at the invoice, because it's not ringing a bell to me. Exactly.
How far away are you allowed to go to school for open enrollment? Can you go
Anywhere.
That's crazy.
As long as, but you have to provide your own transportation.
Oh, yeah.
And they can't come into your district. So like if you wanted to go to Des Moines Public Schools, your parent would have to take you every single day back and forth to Des Moines Public Schools. They couldn't send a bus down here to pick kids up.
Yeah.
They can't come, I mean, the board would have to approve any district coming into our district, which we don't approve. Or I would recommend you don't. Because it, yeah.
No. Oh, we could approve a bus coming into our district.
You could.
You could,
Yeah.
but
Anyway, and
I'm
that's,
getting it. I'll
that's,
pull it up. My
Okay.
the computer's not working
Yeah.
right now.
once you start that with one kid, then a bus can fill a lot of students.
Yeah.
I think at one time we had a small agreement with IKM where we could go 2 miles into
To their,
their
yeah.
district.
So those are science tables.
okay.
Oh,
And then part of
yes.
the tables and chairs for the science room.
Okay.
Bill got new science tables for the middle school,
Okay.
so, yes.
And that's
I didn't
where,
know
like,
what
a set
company
of
it was,
supplies,
but
it'd be
yeah.
nice, okay. those
Yeah, middle
tables
school
for-
science tables.
Yeah.
That's
What's the
I-
dollar amount that you're looking at that you'd like it to be more specific? Because I mean, you don't want to do every $100 charge
No,
or stuff
I
like
don't know, what's the
that.
board, what do you guys think? I would think anything over $5,000, but maybe,
I was gonna say 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
yeah.
Although if you're typing something in, type the detail in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
the report we pull now just pulls what it pulls, like when we put in our vendor inquiry. I'm gonna change the report or create a new one if I have to in our system to actually pull the invoice stuff. So it pulls all the invoice descriptions that we put in to have our more specific stuff that we stuff. So
Okay.
it's just,
Yeah.
I need to move around some
And
reports and stuff like that.
We'll get there. All right, can I get a motion? Anybody got any other questions on the consent items? Always I'll enter a motion for that.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. What else we got?
That's it.
All right.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Second. Perfect.
Thank you.
Hope Greg, he's safe.
Yeah, he was.